you, this is the favorite recipe I ever made.
It is.
I made it up.
It's requested often.
Often. Friends love this. It's a vegetarian taco salad. The dressing is a little interesting, but it's going to be something you probably haven't seen much before, which is great. I like that. So I've got some mayonnaise in here. You can use light mayonnaise. I went for a high test today, and I'm adding sour cream. But you could use yogurt, or you could use Greek yogurt, or light sour cream. And I'm adding right to the blender. This dressing is just blended right in the blender. Okay, set that aside for me. Thank you. Okay, and I'm going to add an entire whole tomato. I quartered it so that it would blend quickly. All right. Now what I'm going to do is add some cilantro. This is one of the key ingredients. I love the stems in there, both the stems and the leaves. It gives us an intense cilantro flavor, which is just great. That's what we want, lots and lots of cilantro. Some people don't like cilantro. You could use basil if you wanted to, or a different herb. So I'm going to use a little honey for sweetness, and I'm going to put that right into my dressing, right into the blender. Just like that. Okay, and I want to add some salt. So I'm going to sprinkle some salt right in there. If you wanted to make this spicy, you could, but I normally don't, because I just like the flavor of all the vegetables in here. It's a vegetable dressing, in spite of the fact it has mayonnaise and sour cream in it, right? I'm going to use some green onions. Of course, if you didn't have green onions, you could use anything. I'm using these. This is all going to be blended as part of the dressing. The juice of a lime. So it's similar to salsa. It's almost like a creamy salsa dressing, which is kind of fun. It's lime juice right there. And cumin. It's a bit of a smoky spice, often seen in Mexican food. Add some nice, interesting flavors. And this is our dressing. That's pretty much it. I'm going to put it on a blender stand, and I'm going to get it going. You can really smell that smoky cumin. It's nice. Mm-hmm. And we have our dressing. Okay, so I'm going to pour the dressing right into this bowl. Now I can make my dressing ahead of time. Look how pretty that is. It's got a little bit of those tomatoes, the green onions.
It is really nice, a really nice green color.
It smells divine.
Yes, it does.
Set that aside. Thank you. And that. Okay, great. So we're done with the blending. That's the dressing. It will last at least a week in the refrigerator. It has all those fresh flavors in it. I could make it spicy. But now Courtney's going to show you, if we pull the bowl over, may we, how to chop the lettuce. I like to use romaine lettuce. I would not use a Bibb lettuce, or I would not use a leaf lettuce, because you want a lettuce that's going to hold up, and it's going to hold up to the dressing. Put a little bit of iceberg would work well, but the little bit of green color in that romaine gives us a lot of nutrition.
Yeah.
So go ahead and show us how
so
we're
you
going
cut
to do
off
this.
the end first, then you cut down the middle, turn it 90 degrees, and cut down again.
Oh, you've trained well.
Yeah, by you.
I know.
Okay, and then you want like an inch. So just chop that up nicely.
You can also tear it.
You can tear it too. It browns less if you tear it, but
we eat it so fast.
We're gonna eat it so fast. Exactly.
Won't have a
It's
chance
gonna
to
be gone before it browns.
I know. Everybody loves this recipe.
So I'm just gonna toss that right in the bowl.
Okay, perfect.
And then we've got some green onions. Slice those up nice and thin, because you don't want too big of a bite of this green onion, because it gets a little bit bitter. I don't know.
Oniony. Let's just put some of that in here.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to grab those tomatoes over there, and we're going to chop them right to the leftover.
Okay.
We want some of those tomatoes in here for color. Oftentimes, it frustrates me when I go to a restaurant and I get a salad and they've got huge big bites or a big quarter of a tomato and you have to cut it. This is a chopped salad, so I think we want everything chopped into small bites so that it's a bite size. That looks great.
There you go. I'll do the other half.
Thank you. Perfect. Just put all that in there for me. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one of the nice, healthy parts of this salad is a black bean. I like black beans because they have a sweetness to them. So we're going to add these black beans to our salad. And look how pretty that makes the salad look.
It does, because different variety of color.
I just took a can of black beans and I drained them, but I could cook them from scratch and then add those. Would you pass me some cheese, please?
Yeah.
All the good taco ingredients that you're going to get. Look at that. That looks yummy. We're putting a little bit of the cheddar cheese in here. You could use Monterey Jack. Use any kind of cheese. And if you were going to serve this a little later, you could stop at this point and not put the dressing on. But I'm going to eat it right now because I'm hungry. So, how about you?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add some crushed up tortilla chips to this.
This is great if you want to use the end. You know, you have those crumbs at the end of your bag. Toss it in the salad.
I always wonder what to do with that.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you can't really eat them.
No.
So you just toss them in salad.
You can't dip them.
No?
You can top them on top of a casserole, but that's about it. Okay, and we may need a little bit more lettuce in there. All right, just put a little more lettuce in there, and I think we're good.
Here, you want to toss it up?
I would be glad to. So I'm going to mix my dressing right in with my salad. Now, if I wanted to, I could toss my salad without the dressing and put my dressing on the side. You like your dressing on the side.
I do. I like to dip.
She's a dipper. But for this dressing, I really like to mix it right in. I'm going to put about a cup of my dressing in here. It almost looks like a green goddess, but it has a Mexican twist to it. You want to make sure that your lettuce is really well drained so there's no water in the bottom, that your tomatoes are not too juicy so there's no water in the bottom. There's nothing worse than getting a salad with lots of juice and water in the bottom. And we want to taste all the dressing we get. Feel that crunch we've got in those chips. Now you have to eat it right away, otherwise your chips get real soggy.
Or you could just add the chips at the end.
You could put them right on top if you'd like.
Yeah.
But we're hungry, like we said, so we're going to eat this now. It's always nice to serve a little extra dressing on the side for those who like a little bit more. I think I'm going to give it a little bit more. There we go.
Make it extra delicious.
Yeah, there you go. The dressing's the best part. And shall we serve some on that plate?
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Notice how you have the red and the black with the beans. And this is an entree. It's got a complete protein. It's got beans. It's got corn. If you didn't have tortilla chips, you could use Chinese noodles. Any kind of crunchy item could do. And sometimes I like to put a little cheese right on top as a little garnish.
There you go.
The famous taco salad just for you. All right, Courtney, so now we're going to make some melon ball either salad or appetizers.
Okay.
How do we do that? How would you do that?
We combine things.
Yeah, we combine things. So I used a melon baller to make melon balls. I used watermelon and I used cantaloupe. You certainly could use any other fruit and you wouldn't have to have balls. You
Right.
could have cubes. You could have shreds. You could have anything you'd want. But I think this looks really pretty. You could also add honeydew.
Yeah. Cubes are
little
easier.
The cubes are easier.
Much
Most
easier.
people don't do balls, but I made balls because, well, it's TV and it's make it pretty. Okay, so I made the melon balls. I used a seedless watermelon. It's about a half a watermelon, and this is an entire cantaloupe. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mix these two melons together, and give it a nice flavor. Here we go. And this particular dish is going to have sort of a marinade, I guess you'd call it. So we're going to use the juice of a lime in this particular dish because you want it to have a tartness to it. All right, so we're going to do the lime right in there. Okay, and I'm going to use some fresh ginger. Now, Courtney, you were grating some ginger earlier. Can you show us how
Yeah.
to peel some ginger? Why don't you talk about it too?
So you want to peel it with a spoon. It's just the perfect tool. It's easier to use than a peeler because the peeler can get sharp and you can cut yourself. But the spoon is perfect, so it's nice and dull, and you won't cut yourself.
Kind of smells a little bit like soap, doesn't it?
Ginger, yeah.
It's really.
It has a very pungent smell, but it's delicious.
Yeah, it is. And it's bitter too, so you have to be careful not to use too much.
It surprisingly goes well with this melon too.
Yeah. And in ginger, when you're going to grate it, we're about to grate this. If you grate the center part, it has strings in it. So you want to, when you're grating it, you want to grate it first, and then when you start to get to the stringy part, just throw it away and find another piece of ginger.
So
that looks pretty good.
Just want to take the skin off.
That looks good, Court. I think we're good. What's the next tool you're going to use, Court?
A microplane.
Yeah, that's a good tool for this particular job. And I'm going to go ahead and recommend you put that microplane right into the bowl.
So
and show us how you're going to grate the ginger.
Grate it right along. And then you have to check on the back because it always gets stuck on the back. So you want to grate along the outside first.
Mm-hmm.
And then, because as you said, the inside is stringy.
Yeah.
And this is the fleshy part.
Okay, that looks good. I think that shows the folks just how it's done.
And there you go. You scrape it right off the back.
Okay, and we've got some ginger pre-done, so I'm going to go ahead and put that ginger right into my bowl. Okay, there it is. That's about a tablespoon. That's just about right. Now, with everything there is sour, you'd want something sweet. Now, I chose to use agave syrup. You could use honey. You could use sugar. You could use anything you'd like. Agave syrup is similar to a tequila product. It's made from the agave plant, and it has an extra sweetness to it. And it has a little bit of a caramelized flavor to it, so I kind of like it in this particular dish. So I want to scrape it and get every drop, Court. So we're just going to drizzle our agave syrup right on top. And it looks pretty, doesn't it? It's shiny too. It gives a little shine, and it bounces that sourness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Would you mix that then, sweetie? While I go ahead and chop some mint. I'm going to chop some spearmint. You could use peppermint. You could use any kind of mint you have. In fact, basil would be nice in here. You can use any kind of fresh herb you had. To chop the mint, I'm going to roll it into a tube shape, okay? And I'm going to chiffonade that. That is a technique. I'm going to curl my fingers under, and I'm going to slice my mint right into little shreds. You want it in pretty little ribbons, okay? Courtney, that looks really good.
Yeah.
See how my mint is in pretty ribbons? Now, this is something that I talked about being marinade. You'd like to do it a little bit ahead, but unfortunately with watermelon or any kind of melon, it breaks down pretty easily, especially when you add sour things and sweet things to it. So I'm going to go ahead and put that, ooh, that looks really nice, right in there. And so you want to let it sit probably at least 30 minutes, Courtney, so that you can get that mint flavor right in there, but you don't want to sit it too long.
Should I stir this up?
Yes, please. That looks beautiful. And you see the nice pretty color. I like the green. It sets off with the red and the orange. That looks really nice.
And it's very tasty.
Oh, yeah. Now, we're going to let this sit for a little bit while we go ahead and make a dip or a dressing, depending on if you're going to do an appetizer or a salad. Okay? So that looks great, Courtney. Nice job with that. Okay. Let's set that aside here. Okay? And we're going to let that sit. Now, Courtney, what we're going to do is we're going to make you can call it a dip or a dressing, and you're going to use your microplane again.
Ooh,
and going to use it with a lime.
Okay.
Okay, so show the folks.
Shove it right in here?
Why don't you do it right onto the cutting board?
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to show the folks how to take the lime zest right off. When you're taking lime zest off, you don't want to use the white part underneath the lime. You just want the very, very top green part. That is called the rind. It has all of the natural essential oils. The white part is called the pith, and it's very bitter. And of course, lime's somewhat bitter anyway. So Courtney's showing you the good technique, and you're getting tiny, tiny shreds with a microplane. The smaller a microplane, the tinier shreds you use. You could use a box grater if you wanted to, Courtney. That looks perfect. I think that kind of showed us all how to do that. Courtney, we have some lime pre-done if you'd like to put that in.
Okay, I'll put that right in.
Okay, good. And that gives it a nice color too.
Yeah.
Okay. So also I'm going to take my lime. Now once I've zested it, I can go ahead and juice it. Obviously you wouldn't want to juice it then zest it because it's just not going to work physically. So to get the juice right out of the lime, Courtney, you want to roll it like this, and you're going to cut it right in half. And do me a favor, would you please? And go ahead and put that lime juice right into that mixture. Now that white stuff is sour cream, so I'm going for high fat, full test. But you know what? You could use yogurt. You could use light sour cream. That would work too. In fact, Greek yogurt is pretty popular. That would be a nice. Okay, and the other half, please. Okay, and this is going to give you a little bit of a sour mixture. Okay.
Balance out nicely with the sweet melons and
Now,
everything.
but if you wanted to, you could make that sweet too. I kind of like the sour dip, but you could actually add some sugar or agave syrup since we already have agave in here. So I like the sweet watermelon with a little bit of the sour. My mother always used to say if you put salt on a watermelon or on a melon, it made it taste sweeter. Never really bought into that. She just never did. So people say that.
It's true.
My mother, she just was not quite with us. But I guess salt balances sugar, so you could make that mixture a little salty.
Yeah.
That would be nice too. And you're mixing that nicely. So we're going to present our melon ball salad and or appetizer 2 different ways. Once Courtney mixes our dip up. Okay. That looks lovely. Nice job.
Why, thank you.
Okay. So can you put maybe some of that into our plate or our bowl in the middle of our plate? Just a little bit. That looks great, Court.
Yeah, I'm going to add one more
One more
spoonful,
spoon.
Just for fun.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our melon and we're going to take a spoon and we're going to go ahead and we're going to gently put some melon balls along the side, making sure that you don't make a mess on the plate. And you can see then what we're going to do is Courtney has some toothpick there, and we're going to take these melon balls and we're going to put the toothpicks right in the melon balls, and this makes a lovely appetizer. See how nice and light it is. It's not necessarily all that sweet either. It just has a little bit of sweetness to it, and it has a little bit of savoriness. And if you put the toothpicks right in there, then the folks can just take a melon ball and dip the melon ball right into the mixture. Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
Good idea.
This is one of my personal favorites, so
Yeah, I like this a lot.
I love watermelon, especially in the summertime.
Now, if you wanted to, you get really fancy and add some prosciutto ham. A lot of people like prosciutto ham with melon. I kind of like it just the way it is, and I think that looks good. Thank you, Courtney. Okay, can you hand me the other bowl, please? All right. So if I wanted to serve it as a salad with just for an individual serving, I could put my melon balls into a bowl. And then, you know what? Would you do me a favor and put a little dab of our dressing, which turns into dressing, right on top? And it turns into a salad. In fact, if you wanted to, you could even mix the two, but I kind of like it presented that way. So there you have it. Watermelon, ginger, mint, and a little lime as both an appetizer as in a salad. Made the same way.